shower over at the other. He's got a shower. And he said you can use the bar soap in the shower. Yes. Can you use the shampoo?
There'll be a lot of it.
Slug up your drain with hair.
Yeah.
Frank. Bottom left.
Still down south. I'm on the street and where we live in now, 2 doors down from us. Couples over there, and the fella's dad has been up and down, and he was telling a couple of his daughter built a house down in North Carolina, and I'm thinking, it's great.
Thanks for being here.
I haven't seen him again. He came out, he was only here for a couple of weeks. And I could never remember his name, because I've seen him so seldom. So I told him that this time I did see him.
Everyone says that. Everyone says you're just like
He drives a silver truck. Of course, I just call it silver. He's like, that's pretty cool. That's what we call you, silver. And then I said, well, because I call you silver, I said, mine is first being a Lone Ranger.
not yet.
Not yet. Where is, I think it's just daughters, other days off.
Yeah, I don't know. Not me. Yeah, they don't think there's like a lot of I don't know if they're all they had originally wanted. Yeah.
And you're
I
at
don't know.
basically.
Here for this and what we did. Yeah, I know. Shirt my sock and Shirley and
In the Howard? Yeah.
Where the down going up to the river runs. Normally it's just plastic. You are who's, you're Laura?
This is my husband, correct?
Yeah, it's been a long, long time.
Just like Laura. I'm trying to say something. I said, hey, there's going to be a test later, but she passed that, right?
I don't remember.
Yeah.
I'm 48.
Well, we're wait a half an hour and then we'll give that test again.
Your mom used to work across the street. Photographing an hour. She used to come in, she'd be all
No, really, that's how bad I
come in
am.
there to see me. The guys on my employees were just so crazy. Lay off, that's my.
Sit down, tired of standing already. I go just a little bit later. Huh? That's all right, I get through. Not go if you will, I'm saying. Well, I lied.
You want to sit here? Or are you good? You want to sit?
Hey Courtney, did I have my glasses? Hi, Eleanor. I got your card. We're gonna, definitely get that. They still have
You good?
That was way out.
Long time, very long time.
Well, I might be here in just a second.
All right, can everybody hear me?
Yes.
Hi, I'm Tavi's wife, Grace. I'm going to speak a little bit about Joyce, and then Ellen, Joyce's best friend, is going to come up and say a few words. Yes, you're second. And then anybody else who wants to share a memory or talk about Joyce is welcome to come up. And afterwards, we've got some cookies in the lounge. So thank you all for coming out to celebrate Joyce. If you're here, you know that she was a pretty special person, and she would have been thrilled to be here with everybody. For the last decade, I mostly knew Joyce as a grandma and as a good one. Joyce was a great hugger, and she had a magnanimous grin. She never stopped calling me Anna, which is a compliment I already miss. I'll never forget the Christmas that she got a hold of a megaphone for bingo, or the year that she baked Tavi a surprise birthday cake and insisted on drinking an entire Two-Hearted, which she hated every sip of. Last month, Tavi, Laura, and I had the privilege of being with Joyce for her final days, and in that time, I got to know her better as Laura's soulmate, as Jet's champion, and as her grandchildren and great-grandchild's greatest fan, and as a truly fun-loving gal. Joyce modeled kindness and grace for us until the very end. She was beaming smiles and reassuring winks at us well after she stopped speaking. And I will forever be grateful for all of the goodness that she passed on to Tavi and for the years that I got with her. I know she was already deeply missed. So thank you all for being here.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Laura. Anybody else wants to come up? Well, Ellen, if you want to be next.
My mom's bestie.
Yep.
I remember growing up, all the time they spent together. Ellen and Mom, they had Clamato juice. Remember Clamato?
Oh, gosh, yes. I just bought some the other day. Yes, love it, love it. Okay, I hate being first. All right. Okay. My dear Joycey, where do I begin? Well, let me tell you. She was one classy woman, never complained, very giving, non-judgmental, sense of humor, loved martinis, which you all know, and the beach. We had many adventures and misadventures together through the years while traveling to Los Angeles, Miami, Disney World, the Panhandle, Destin, Key West, Chicago, 2 windjammers that I'll never forget, Vail, and Minnesota. She deeply loved her children and grandchildren. Her eyes would light up when she would tell me of their escapades and accomplishments with me. She and John were godparents to my children, Jennifer and Ty. And let me turn the page. Okay. They were most giving to my children, and I'll never forget. And with great love and respect to them. My son, who lives in Las Vegas, wrote me this. He said, "Oh, Mom, I'm sorry to hear about Joyce. She was a hell of a woman, and I have nothing but fun and fond memories of her. I thought about her a few times over recent years, as I still have the 2 gifts that she gave me back when we lived on Church Street, which was in Clinton. 2 separate times she came back from travels and vacation, and she gave me a pretty rock, and he has geode, G-E-O-D-E, paperweight, and a little wooden cedar stump trinket box. The geode now sits on my little altar. He does meditation. And the cedar box is on my shelf in the office and holds some of his cat Lenny's fur and his favorite toy. And it sits next to the wooden carving of a cat favorite toy, meditating. I even wrote in my meditation journal a few years ago how she could have just bought me some cheap, chintzy t-shirt that I soon would outgrow, or some kind of a plastic souvenir. But no, she bought me things that I wouldn't outgrow and could always use. She put thought into those gifts. And with that, the bottom line, I will always, always cherish our friendship and memories we made together. She was a gem.
I know, I saw you struggle. Hi, Miss Jane. How do you? Hi. Good to see you. Hi, Tom. How you doing?
I'm James Hutchman.
Nobody's gonna say anything?
You wanna say something?
Well, I can talk loud.
I think you should like it.
No, I don't wanna go up there. My mom was the best. I spent my last years with her, best years of my life. She loved people. She was a sweet, sweet woman. Thank you.
If anyone else would like to say anything, it doesn't have to be well-written or long, or it can be humorous, doesn't have to be serious, or, we're all friends here. I saw some of the pictures on these well-made poster boards that, I guarantee there's some stories behind them. So, yeah. The mic will be here and it'll be on until 3 o'clock, or really whenever the family tells me to. But please come on up and share if you have anything to say. The family would appreciate it. Thank you.
There. Hey. Hi. You're so cute.
I'll say something.
He's doing so good.
Aren't you happy?
Hi, I'm Anna, of Grace's top opening fame. I met Joyce in like a really formative time of my life. And sorry, I don't want to cry about it because it's actually really exciting and positive. Need to reframe that. Thank you, just yell at me, it'll help.
You're doing great.
Thank you.
Was it at the Olive Garden? I think we went to the Olive Garden and sat in the smoking section.
That helps, yeah.
I think Grandma was still
Probably got
smoking.
drinks with your grandma.
You were still smoking, and
Yeah.
I was still smoking,
Yeah.
so it was Laura.
It was really
And
good.
that's how you first met them.
Yeah, that sounds right. So I guess easier first, some things that I always associated with Joyce are like holiday parties, playing bingo. Like any holiday, any excuse to play bingo was like the best. She was so generous. She always had, like, I would get there and she'd be like, I made that dip you like, and it was like the 7-layer dip or something?
Yeah, it was the
Artichoke.
Oh, the artichoke dip was so good. She was such a good cook. Yeah, and I don't know how she managed to always like make all of this food but not be in the kitchen the whole time. She was like everywhere and a fantastic host. But I think, yeah, when I met her, like Tavi and I were dating, and it was the first time I had really dated anyone seriously, and the first time I had ever dated another woman, and I was really scared about that with my own family. And Joyce just created this environment where like it was just fine, everything was fine, and like everyone in her circle, I always felt safe and fine. And so I feel like her acceptance and her love really gave me courage.
She had that magic touch. Yeah.
She did. And so the things that, outside of winning sweet lotto tickets or $10 bills, or like that really cool car scraper that is also a mitten that you put your hand in. Those material gifts, I got a lot of other gifts from her that were seemingly secondary, but much more long-lasting and impactful. And I'm always grateful to her for that, because I know that her influence and like all of the people in her life that I got to have in my life are what made everything so rich and beautiful and nourished me in the way that it did.
My brother. You guys are buddies.
Yeah, I was buddies with Jet too. She raised some wild children, didn't she? Things got away from her a little bit. On that note.
You guys gotta tell a Walloon Lake story. She always talk about the wacky women's club that you guys went up to Walloon Lake and had a party every year. For how many years did you guys do that? I remember come around art fair meant up north.
30? Wow, wasn't it? 30 years? No, at least 25.
I remember the puff cake t-shirts.
About the beer shaking chicken wings. Story about that.
Go ahead.
I don't know it. I heard you get stopped over by.
What about what?
Beer butt chicken.
Beer butt chicken?
We decided we were gonna make chicken in a beer can. And that's where you put the beer can up in the. Joyce sits down and we're all eating and she says, "Oh my God, this is delicious, but how on earth do you get that chicken in the beer can?" That's the chicken in the beer can story. And I guess I'll tell one more, it's my favorite. And it's about her younger days when she was about 5 or 6 years old. And she had this little neighborhood buddy, and if memory serves, his name was Little Jackie Stein. Am I right there? Jackie Stein? Okay. Well, so little Jackie Stein, he had this jackknife, and she wanted that jackknife so badly. She'd do anything for it. Well, little Jackie figured that out, and he was maybe a couple of years older than her. And he said, "Okay, I'll give you this knife, but you gotta do something for me." And so she said, "Okay." And he said, "You meet me in your garage over there." And she said, "All right." And he said, he says, "You pull your pants down and show me your tushy." And she said, "All right, here we go." She pulled her pants down and pulled them back up and said, "Well, give me that knife." And he said, "No." Well, she was so darn mad that she marched right down the street, knocked on Mrs. Stein's door, and said, "Your son told me if I pulled my pants down, I'd get his jackknife, and I'll be darned he didn't give me that knife." Well, Joyce got the knife and looked at that.
That was great.
That was one of the best.
Well, Ellen must have some good stories. Oh, did she? I missed them.
Ellen, I don't even know, how old were you when you met Joyce?
All the way,
To school.
kindergarten all the way, although she was years behind.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, so, yeah. And I remember going down, this has nothing to do with Joyce, but your parents would have the best parties.
Oh.
Yeah, and they would let us come, enjoying them, they didn't care. Yeah.
We used to have the best parties at Grandma Hauser's backyard. German potato salad. Aunt Mary would make German potato salad. I remember that. It was fun. Lots of beer, lots of throwing water at each other.
Stroh's beer.
Stroh's. Stroh's. I love Stroh's.
Me too.
That was the beer I drank in college. Stroh's. This baby is so beautiful. I want to take him home. And he'd start screaming and I'd freak out. Lucy, I need some milk. Hi. Hi. Little tiny boy. You're being so good. Is he always good? It's amazing. Looks like it's daddy.
I hope she got some good use out of that knife.
It should be framed.
It should be right in the shadow box.
Yeah, definitely.
If there's anyone else that'd like to share, please come on up. As I mentioned, the mic will be up here and on and live until 3 o'clock, if not after. So again, come on up, and otherwise we can continue the visitation. And there's the poster boards that the family made for folks to see. So we will
Gonna crop and watch.
continue to be with each other in such time. All right. Thank you again. Oh, here comes. Yes, sir.
So my name is Chris Knight. My dad, John, my mom, Barbara, were good friends with John and Joyce going way back when. They all hung out a lot during the 1950s and early 60s. And my brother Fred was really good friends with Jet as well. But I remember a story that my mom told me. And I think everybody was just newly married back in the early 50s. And somehow my dad, John, and John Thomas convinced Joyce and my mom, Barb, to play strip poker. So anyways, my mom was telling the story, and they said, of course, they got prepared for it. And they went into Joyce's bedroom, and they put on 4 pairs of gloves, 3 pairs of socks, several pairs of underwear. And they got this whole thing laid out. And I think the way my dad would play poker, and probably John as well, somehow they knew how to cheat.
Oh, yeah.
So at some point in time, I think the guys had barely lost any clothing, and my mom and Joyce were down to probably the bra and panties kind of thing. So they excused themselves for a minute, and they went back to Joyce's bedroom, and they all cuddled back up in bed, and they took a nap, and then the evening was over. So that was how the whole thing ended, but it kind of reminded me of the Twishy story when you told that. It was another extension of that. But no, Joyce and their family were always very kind to my brother and I, and a lot of good memories going way back. So it should be greatly missed. So thank you.
We always thought so much of you guys.
Oh, thank
Always
you.
talked about you all the time.
Yeah,
The Knight brothers.
the Knight brothers, yes.
And Freddie and my brother called me Wacky Witch.
Wacky Witch, my goodness. Affectionately, I'm sure.
Yeah. Well, sometimes not.
Yeah.
It was something we never forgot.
No, a lot of good memories
You're
there.
not playing with us, you're the wacky witch.
I'll go tell my brother about that.
Did you just miss the jackknife story? I'll fill you in later.
Hey, Katu. Hi. You got a cute grandson? Yes, you are. We should all be drinking martinis.
We should. Have a shot to feel it.
I'm gonna say something. Oh, good.
So Joyce was the best mother-in-law I ever had. She would call me every May 1st and say, Kathy, hooray, hooray, 1st of May, outdoor fucking starts today.
I don't know if anyone can top that.
It's what, 3 months, right? 4 months? Oh, wow, okay. I'm so glad he's.
Ooh, well, thank you guys so much for coming here and sharing your memories. I think we're gonna open things back up, and if you want to stare at some more pictures and eat some cookies and tell me any more rowdy stories of my grandmother, not in front of a microphone, I totally get it. But really, thank you guys so much for coming here. Joyce loved nothing more than her family, so it would mean a lot that so many people showed up for her. So thank you guys.
And we thank Tabby for getting all this arranged. So Cody, you're the main caregiver now, right? Yeah. That's great. Don't you love it? That's good. But you want to get back to work. Look at that hair. Look at that hair growing. I want a picture of him. Oh,
Yeah, he's getting ready to crawl.
you're gonna cry. It's so ready. Yes. I love his jeans. Look at how badass. You got some badass. How'd your jeans? Yes, I did. It's gorgeous. You like it? Sorry, I can't hear. No. How are you? I'm good. Yeah, I'm doing better. It was pretty rough. It's like, are you coming Monday? Okay, good. Still waiting for the girls. They have my stuff, you know.
Thank you.